Hi friend, welcome to Our Family Cooks. Today we are making mornings easier and healthier with a delicious recipe that's perfect if you're a busy mom like me. We're talking about sourdough discard pancakes and waffles that you can meal prep ahead of time and make at home. Not only are these a great option to reduce food waste if you're making sourdough regularly, but they're also a great breakfast. If you're new to sourdough, you might be asking yourself, what is discard? How do I get sourdough discard? Is the discard different from when you make sourdough bread? Let's walk through the process. When making sourdough bread, you will need to have an active and live starter. An active starter means it's bubbly and will make your bread rise. To make your starter active and bubbly, you need to feed it. If you aren't making bread multiple times a week, you'll likely store your starter in the fridge, like me. To bring it back to life, you need to feed the starter with flour and water. Since my sourdough starter is already made, I try to get my starter to around 50 grams, and then add an additional 100 grams of flour and 100 grams of water. This time, I did add more around 115 to 120 grams of flour and water, which is okay. You just want more flour and water versus the amount of starter, so it has plenty to feed on in order to grow. Therefore, you get discard from needing to minimize your starter to around 50 grams. The discard is a non-active sourdough starter, which you can also use in crackers, pizza crust, and more. Just won't be able to bake bread with the discard because it needs to be active, alive, and bubbly. Now, let's make our pancake batter. We'll need 1.5 cups all-purpose flour, 2 tablespoons honey, half teaspoon salt, 1 teaspoon baking soda, 2 teaspoons baking powder, 1 cup sourdough discard, 2 eggs, 1 cup milk, and 3 tablespoons melted butter. This combination will give our pancakes the perfect texture and fluffiness. This mixture will make around 10 pancakes depending on how large you make them in your pan. Mix all the ingredients together until you have a smooth batter. Heat a skillet over medium heat and grease lightly. I prefer to use avocado oil spray instead of the canola oil or vegetable oil sprays you can find in the store. Pour the batter in medium-sized circles in your pan. Cook until bubbles form on the surface, then flip and cook until golden brown. One reason I love cooking with sourdough is because it isn't just delicious, it's also packed with health benefits. The fermentation process breaks down phytic acid, making nutrients like iron and zinc more available. Plus, the natural probiotics in sourdough promote a healthy gut, aiding in digestion. These pancakes will cook up beautifully with a slight tang from the sourdough that sets them apart from the usual mix. If your family prefers waffles like we do, this batter works perfectly for that too. No need to add anything extra, however I am adding a cup of cottage cheese for added protein, and I've found it gives the waffles a nice additional flavor. When using your waffle iron, you'll want to make sure the waffle iron is hot and preheated before pouring your sourdough mixture in. My waffle iron has a handy red and green light where the light turns green when the waffle iron is ready, so you don't have to stand there constantly checking on your waffle and letting any heat out of it. While these waffles cook, let's talk a bit about the science behind these pancakes and waffles. Baking soda and baking powder are both leavening agents, but they work differently. Baking soda needs an acid to activate it, like our sourdough discard. and helps the pancakes rise and become fluffy. Baking powder, on the other hand, is double acting. It reacts once when mixed with wet ingredients and again when exposed to heat, creating an even lighter and airier texture. You'll get crispy, golden waffles with that same delicious sourdough flavor from these. Now, let's talk meal prep. If you're looking for a way to make mornings easier and faster to get out the door to work and school or heading to your local park meetup, then you'll want to meal prep these on the weekends or whenever you have extra time during the week. Once your pancakes and waffles are cooked, let them cool completely. This prevents them from becoming soggy when stored. In the fridge, they'll stay fresh for up to 4 to 5 days. Just place them in an airtight container. To reheat, simply pop them in the microwave or toaster. I recommend the toaster for the best tasting leftover pancakes and waffles. For longer storage, you'll freeze them. One way you could prep the pancakes is by laying them on a single layer on a baking sheet and freeze until solid. However, if you don't have time to wait for them in the freezer, once they're cool, you can transfer them to a freezer-safe bag or container, separating layers with parchment paper if desired. They can be frozen for up to 1 to 2 months. Reheat directly from the freezer in the toaster or microwave. So there you have it, sourdough discard pancakes and waffles that are perfect to meal prep on the weekends and pop in the toaster in the mornings. They're easy to make, store well, and a great start to your day. All the recipes are linked in the description below. Make sure to check them out, try them, and let me know your thoughts. If you're looking for another video on how to meal prep and get ready for your day, make sure to check out this one linked right here. And as always, make sure to like, subscribe, comment your thoughts, and come back again for another video, and I'll see you next time. Thanks, y'all.